Does your dog lose it on walks, barking and lunging every time they see another dog or person? Do they panic when someone comes to the door or bark relentlessly out the window all day? If any of that sounds familiar, you're not alone and your dog is not broken or bad. I'm Genji Pywell, a certified dog trainer, and I specialize in dog fear and reactivity. Dog reactivity almost always comes down to two emotions or a combination, fear or over-arousal. Both can cause real stress in your dog's body, and both are signs that your dog needs help. A fearful dog is genuinely afraid of what they see or hear. Their reaction, the barking and lunging, is communication. It means, I'm not comfortable, I need space, please go away. An over-aroused dog looks very similar, but the underlying motivation is different. The dog isn't afraid. They're so overly excited that they can't regulate themselves. Think about a dog barking from behind a fence. They might actually want to get to the people or the other dogs. You might have seen this with someone on a walk. Their dog is jumping at the end of the leash and totally freaking out, and the person says to you, "My dog actually just wants to play." Regardless of whether your dog is fearful or over-aroused, this isn't a behavior that's healthy for you or your dog. Reactivity is genuinely hard on your dog's nervous system, and I'm sure on yours too. A dog who spends the afternoon barking out a window or barking from behind a fence is flooding their body with stress hormones. That same dog is going to be primed to react when you're ready to go on a walk. It all compounds. You might be wondering, what makes dogs reactive in the first place? This is a question I get the most often, and it's rarely just one thing. Let's go through the main contributing factors. Medical issues and pain are something we want to rule out before we start training our dog for fear or reactivity. Pain, chronic illness, hearing or vision loss can cause or worsen reactivity. This is especially true in senior dogs and dogs who have had a sudden change in behavior for no apparent reason. A sudden shift in behavior always warrants a visit to the vet. Next is genetics and epigenetics. Some dogs are more predisposed to anxiety. If a mother dog experienced significant stress during pregnancy, in a shelter or on the street, for example, her puppies may be more reactive from the start. Certain breeds are developed for hypervigilance, some guarding and herding breeds, and they may also be more prone to reactivity and anxiety. Lack of socialization. Dogs who weren't properly exposed to humans, other dogs, or new things during a critical period in their development, from about 8 to 12 weeks old, may grow up with fear of unfamiliar things. This is very common in puppy mill dogs and dogs who are rescued from hoarding situations. Stressful living conditions. A dog living in a highly chaotic or overwhelming environment, or who spent a significant amount of time in a shelter without a lot of enrichment, may develop reactivity as a result of chronic stress. Boredom and lack of enrichment. Dogs are really intelligent animals. They need mental stimulation and a chance to engage in natural behaviors. Sniffing, foraging, exploring, digging. When those needs aren't met, the resulting stress can trigger reactive responses. Big changes in a dog's life, divorce, loss of a loved one, moving, a child going off to school, medical trauma, a big surgery that causes the dog to be on bed rest for a very long time, or medicated. All of those kinds of things that really disrupt the dog's normal routine and create a lot of stress for the dog or for their dog parents can result in stress that can then become reactivity. Negative experiences. A single traumatic event or repeated bad experiences, if your dog has been attacked, bullied, or repeatedly startled on walks, they've learned that the outside world is unpredictable and unsafe. The same is true for dogs who have been yelled at, punished, or have had their space violated by people who didn't recognize their stress signals. They stopped trusting that people will keep them safe. Aversive training methods. Using tools like shock, prong, or choke collars, or using punishment, yelling, hitting, yanking on the dog's leash doesn't reduce anxiety, it makes it worse. When a dog sees something that's scary and then is punished, that can escalate to aggression towards other dogs and people, or even to you, the dog's owner. Barrier frustration. A dog who spends a significant amount of time barking from behind a fence or a window may start from a place of excitement or arousal. But over time, that repeated, unresolved activation builds up in the nervous system. When the dog finally has access to the person or the other dog, they have no self-control and they overreact. Lack of impulse control. Impulse control is a skill, and dogs are not born with it. Without specific training to help them develop it, not every dog has the emotional regulation that they need to deal with things that are scary or exciting for them. When triggers appear, there's no pause, just a reaction. So for your dog, do you think your dog is fearful or over-aroused? And can you think of any of the possible causes that might be contributing to their reactivity? Regardless of where you're at right now with your dog's reactivity, no matter how over the top and out of control it may seem, there is hope. Dogs can and do recover from reactivity with the right support. The approach I use is called the Calm and Confident Training System for dogs with fear and reactivity. It's a 7-step framework that starts by identifying your dog's specific triggers and building a training plan around their specific history and environment. And here's what surprises most people. Training is actually a very small part of what moves the needle. We spend a lot of time in the beginning doing fun exercises, getting your dog out of that stressed out reactive state and into something more calm and manageable. Then we build from there. This system sets you and your dog up for success. If any of this resonates with you and you want to talk specifically about your dog, I offer a free 15-minute training consultation. No pressure, just a conversation to discuss where you're at and what might help. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with someone else who also might be struggling with reactivity with their dog. See you in the next one.